Hello YouTube. I have been in the market for my first AR-15. I have a CCW and have several different handguns, have a couple other rifles. Even in the past I have owned a 40 cal high point carbine, but really wanted to get a hold of an AR-15. And since I am on a budget, I've had to kind of stick to the entry-level market. So as a result, I have looked at the M&P Sport. I've looked at the DPMS Panther Oracle. I've been looking at the Mossberg MMR. I've also looked at the Ruger AR556 and a couple others. Now, I really wanted one that had a quad rail on it, preferably a free-floating quad rail. So I was leaning heavily towards the Mossberg MMR, but have had difficulty finding one in the local stores here in the Omaha, Nebraska area. So was either considering ordering one. Had also heavily looked at the Mossberg, not the Mossberg, I'm sorry, but the Ruger AR556, and then just putting a quad rail forend on it, even though it is not set up for a free-floating barrel without having to change out the gas block and everything. So as I was looking, I walked into a local store and happened to find this particular AR-15 on the shelf and was very interested in it. So I started asking the salesman quite a bit of questions about it, and it ended up having pretty much everything I was looking for in my first AR, and was right in the price range that I was willing to pay and quite frankly could afford. So this is an ATI Milsport. ATI is American Tactical Imports, but this is actually made in America. ATI is stationed out of South Carolina. And there isn't really a whole lot of information on YouTube for this particular AR. You can get quite a bit of information on the internet itself, especially looking through different online gun shops that are carrying this. The price I paid for it was $549 plus tax. The MSRP on this is $750, and I've seen it online anywhere from $519 on up to $700. So even if I had bought it for $519, by the time I would have, paid any type of transfer fees or anything like that, I still would have ended up pretty much around the same price that I ended up paying for it. So because there isn't a whole lot of information on this, I wanted to go ahead and do a review on it and go over some of the features that are on this particular rifle. For those of you that may have seen it, may be looking into it, may be interested. So let's go ahead and start at the muzzle here. As you can see, this has a A2 flash hider bird cage. Another really nice feature about this particular rifle is it comes with an M4 barrel, but the barrel itself also has a melanite finish on it. Those of you that know, melanite is a nitride bath process that the barrel is soaked in, which then actually hardens the surface of the steel more than what it already is from the factory, which helps to extend the life of the barrel, helps to lessen the wear and tear on the barrel. In the price range that I was looking at, finding something chrome lined would have been next to impossible. So the fact that this one happened to have a melanite coating on it, I was extremely pleased with. This barrel is also a 1 in 7 twist, which is what I was really preferring over even a 1/8, although a 1/8 I would have been more than happy with because I was looking to shoot heavier 223 or 5.56 bullets with this particular rifle as opposed to the much lighter varmint loads. As you can see, this also has the quad rail on it. It is a free-floating barrel with a low-profile gas block, which is what I really wanted, which is why I was heavily interested in the Mossberg MMR, but again, just that particular rifle is very difficult to come by. This happens to be a carbine length gas system on here. Now, when it comes to ATI, they are known for their polymer lowers, which is used in their ATI Omni Hybrid AR-15s. They also have a Omni Hybrid Max, which actually has a polymer upper and a polymer lower. I personally was not even remotely interested in polymer AR-15 of any type. This particular one is all aluminum. The upper is aluminum. The upper itself was forged by Anchor Harvey. If you can see the forge mark there. I am not sure if ATI does the actual milling of the upper themselves. They have in the past partnered with Heads Down, who has also helped make rifles for them and could have done some of the milling for their upper. The lower is actually made, and I don't know if this is going to show up very well, is made by BCI Defense out of Bremen, Indiana. As you can see, the Milsport logo on the lower right there. It does come with one 30-round PMag. Then you can see that it also comes with just the standard AR grip. Now, another nice thing about this, for being in the entry-level market, is it does come with a dust cover. It does come with a forward assist. Now, when you're looking at the budget ARs, some of them won't have either, such as the M&P Sport. Some of them will have one and not the other, such as the Mossberg MMR, which comes with the dust cover but does not come with a forward assist. And some of them, like the DPMS Panther, the Ruger AR556, will come with a dust cover and a forward assist, but then they don't have the melanited barrel. So I really like the fact that this has a lot of features on it for the price range that it is in and the market that it is trying to cater to. Now, the castle nut on this is staked. It's actually staked in two different spots. It does come with a sling mount already attached. The buffer tube is a mil-spec buffer tube. And then this also comes from the factory with a Rogers Super Stock, which is very comparable to your Magpul stocks that are out there. I've seen these on the internet ranging anywhere from $50 to $75 a piece, depending on who you go through. This particular one does come with the locking lever on it. So after you adjust the stock to where you would like it to be, you can lock it down. And I have to say, in the times that I've had to shoot this already, which has only been a couple, it has no wobble in it whatsoever. So that is a very nice feature to have for the price that I paid for this. It is a 6-position adjustable stock. I've had probably about 150 rounds through this total so far, which I know isn't a lot, but I will have to say that I have had zero issues with the rifle at all. I have had no failures to feed. I have had no failures to eject. Nothing. It has just ran flawlessly. As you can see, I've added a couple things to it. It does not come with sights, so I put some Magpul flip-up sights on it. I also added the angled foregrip to it. I'm not a real big fan of the vertical foregrips. I also have a red laser on it that I used to have on one of my handguns, but I'm not a real big fan of lasers on my CCW weapons. So I put this laser on here. Initially, when I went and first shot this, I had a much larger green laser on it. As you can see, this is the laser that I had on it. This thing is huge. Didn't really like how big it was on there. Works extremely well, very, very bright, but just didn't like the size of it, and I wanted something a little bit more low profile on the rifle. Flip this over here quick so you can see the other side. I have added inexpensive light to it as well. And then as you can see, I have put some hand guards on here also, just to aid in comfortability as I am shooting the rifle. The quad rail on here is not polymer, it is also all aluminum, so as you're shooting with that, it's fairly sharp, and with the recoil on this, which isn't bad, but that does tend to dig in a little bit into your hand, so I put those on there just to help with comfort as I'm shooting. Overall, I have to say that I'm very impressed with the rifle, even though it is my first AR-15. Also wanted to mention the trigger itself, very light, very crisp, very short pull, very short reset. I don't really have a lot of experience with AR-15s to be able to compare the trigger to, but I am extremely happy with it so far. Also, I have put a True Glow red-green dot on here currently. Maybe in the future I will put a little bit more expensive red dot on there. Something I also wanted to show you, and hopefully this is going to show up here decent, is I wanted to show you the bolt carrier group that comes with this. Now this particular one, and again hopefully this will focus on here, is a 9310 steel bolt. As you can see, it is stamped MPI for the magnetic particle inspected. The carrier itself is the 8620 steel. The gas key is staked, and staked quite nicely. It is a M16 bolt carrier as opposed to a standard AR-15 bolt carrier group. Again, this is what came stock with it, so also extremely satisfied with the bolt carrier group that came with it. For the price that I paid for this, it doesn't really seem like they cheaped out on anything. And I would highly recommend this rifle to someone that is on a budget, that is looking to get their first AR-15 or just another AR-15, but looking mostly at the entry-level market. If you guys have any questions on this, or if there's anything that I have missed in this review, please feel free to leave a comment. I do have a shooting video of this also. The first time that my wife and I took it out, that was when I had the green laser on it. You can definitely see the green laser in the video itself. But again, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. I'll be happy to answer them when I can. This is my very first gun review also. So just be kind and happy shooting. Hope you guys all have a wonderful day. Thank you.